Today on episode 107 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our media recommendations, a TCF candy review, everyday Madden ratings, and the TCF top 3 Olympic sports. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 107 of Typical Chicago Fans. It is me, Boomy, on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Make sure you follow the main page at Typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram, type in Typical Chicago Fans, give those pages a like. Make sure you head over to the YouTube page, type in Typical Chicago Fans on YouTube, give that page a subscribe. You can check all of our content there in video form. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spreaker, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. But make sure you follow the man that I am joined with tonight. And, of course, that is Zach at Z Lilia TCF. Our episode today is brought to you by our friends over at 26shirts.com Chicago. I've got one of their great shirts on. I got one right here. Make sure you head to their website, 26shirts.com/Chicago, to check out some of the best Chicago sports merchandise around. They've got hats, flags, hoodies, T-shirts, whatever you need. Profits go to a good cause. It's a win-win-win situation. It's some of the best clothes I own. Use promo code Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off of your order. If you love the show, you love good Chicago merch, and you love helping out good causes, 26shirts.com/Chicago. Pick up some of their items with promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off of your order. Zach, my man, Big Z, how we doing tonight?
Not the best. My favorite team to watch here, the Cubs. It's not going to be a great week for them. I have mixed emotions about everything that's about to happen because you know what's about to happen. And then the Aaron Rodgers news comes out today and stuff like that. It's just not a great day for me.
Understandable. Well, we'll get into that a little bit deeper in the episode in the TCF Sports Minute. But let's go ahead and get it started, as always, with Sinkers and Floaters. My sinker is birthday cake. I'm not the biggest birthday cake guy myself. I'm more of a cookies or a cupcake. But either way, birthday cake is my sinker because a New York man and a Maine woman Maine the state, are facing charges of cocaine disguised as a birthday cake. So they took this this pile of cocaine and built a birthday cake around it, tried to transport it. They said it was about 4 pounds worth of cocaine. They're saying a $200,000 street value and about $2,000 in cash. They had it in the back of their SUV while traveling down the road and on Interstate 295, and got pulled over, and the drug dogs popped something a little bit weird. They couldn't find it, but they did find a cake that was used to mask 4 pounds of cocaine. So, you're going to have to check your birthday cakes from now on, make sure there's not 4 pounds of cocaine built into it. That also might qualify it for one of the most expensive birthday cakes I've ever heard of, Zach. I don't know about you.
Yeah, that's a very expensive cake.
Yeah, it was
a cocaine cake.
Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. Like, I don't know. Like I said, that's actually pretty smart if you think about it. Like, that's a good way to throw off the scent. Like, no, your drug dog is picking up a cake, not cocaine. Psych. There's 4 pounds of cocaine.
It's both.
So it is. That is true. Cocaine cake, like you said. So I'm going to be a little leery of birthday cakes from now on.
Yeah, but hey, you never know.
Like you said, expensive gift. That'd be a huge gift if you gave that to somebody.
Yeah, be like, hey, a street value on this thing, $2,500.
No, $200,000.
Oh, $200,000.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, very. I mean, you're going above and beyond. You're giving someone a $200,000 birthday cake. Now, granted, most of it's made up with illegal contraband, but that's just semantics here.
Yeah, they don't tell you how you have to get the money.
Yeah, you got to build a drug empire and distribute it. But listen, the business is there. You just got to figure the rest of it out. I'm just kidding. Don't give people cocaine for the birthday.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
My sinker is going back to work after vacation. Boomy has to do this in a few weeks here.
I got 2.5 weeks.
I did that today. It's just the worst. You go from doing nothing all day to having to do something that you just don't want to do.
Literally anything.
It's
I noticed today, like I was just working around the house. Yeah, and I can't even say that I feel your pain because, like I said, I still have like 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks. I don't even know what I'm down to now. But even today, I was like doing some work on my computer, and I looked up at the clock, and I'm like, at this point, 2 weeks ago, we were walking into Coors Field for the home run derby, and in 2 weeks, I got to go back to work. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's not a fun day back. That's for sure.
It was. It's just because you're so far away from the next vacation because you don't just get to take vacations back to back like months. So
right.
It's the realization of everything.
It doesn't help that it was like 95 degrees today. So
yeah, and everything you turn Twitter on, it's like, oh, here are the odds for every Cubs player that you love getting traded to these teams. It's just like, I'm trying to get through the workday.
I don't need this Debbie Downer over here, so that's understandable. Understandable. My floater, on the other hand, is flamingos. And Zach, when I say like flamingos, what do you think of? Like where do you think of?
Florida,
yeah, exactly. Good call. Or a zoo. Not in Saline, Michigan, because Saline, Michigan actually has two flamingos just kind of wandering around town right now. They don't know if they escaped from the zoo or what the deal is, but they just have two random flamingos just kind of hanging out in a river up somewhere near Michigan. So very cool. I did not expect Michigan to be the next home of flamingos, but hey, I mean, climate change, you never know what's going to happen. We could see flamingos in Michigan, the Michigan Flamingos, you know.
That could be like a minor league baseball team.
Absolutely. You're just driving, you know, like when you go to Michigan, kind of like Wisconsin, you expect to see like some eagles or, you know, just different birds. You definitely don't expect to see a pink flamingo standing in a river.
That's for sure, Boomy. I would not expect that anywhere other than Florida.
Exactly. Hey, do you know, fun fact, if you want to learn something, do you know why flamingos are pink?
Why?
It's because they eat so much shrimp. They actually digest so much pigment from the shrimp that's why they're pink. Learned something new today.
There you go. My floater is football is in the air. You can smell it. It's getting close. We're about, I think I saw on Pat McAfee's show, it's like 45 days until NFL. College football is just around the corner. I'm so excited.
Yeah, especially college football now. You got, you know, the stuff coming out with, you know, Oklahoma and Texas, possibly going to the SEC, you know, where you're looking at another realignment. We're 10 years out of the last one. And whether you like it or not, at least like there's football in the air. I did see today, I think it was the Colts head coach came down with COVID. So their training camp stuff is kind of in the air. But like you start seeing that stuff in the news. And obviously, you know, you alluded to it earlier, the Aaron Rodgers stuff. I mean, there's football in the news, kind of feel that creeping up on us. So it's always a good feeling.
I think training camp starts this week.
Yes, I believe you're right. Most teams, I believe, are starting this week. So not the worst part. I mean, this is like the most boring time of the sports calendar, but at least, you know, the NBA just ended a week ago, and now we're already moving on to the NFL and college football just around the corner. So
yeah, some people need to realize that the NBA just got done.
With that being said, Zach, I mean, are you getting it at the Olympic stuff going on right now, or?
I don't really know how to feel about it because, yes, I understand they should be winning. France is a pretty good team. And I kind of watched the end of it. The end of the game was pretty weird, a lot of weird turnovers and stuff, and they were just kind of – I don't know how to say this, but I think they're being outcoached.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to watch the game yet.
I just don't think Popovich is running the right offense, putting the right players out there. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's something like, I mean, they scored like 78 points in an Olympic game. Like, I understand that the international game is a little bit different than the NBA game, but like 78 points, you guys score that in like a half. Like what are we doing here?
But my thing is, about a month ago, Kevin Durant was in like a 7-game series in the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like people need to kind of put that into perspective, and also I think it needs to be more, not like, oh no, that the USA lost. It's like the Olympics, the NBA Olympics. It's come so far.
Oh,
With
yeah,
the
absolutely.
talent. It's just like you need to. I think that needs to be talked about more than, oh, is USA lost it, or are these guys even trying? It's like maybe the other players are just very good.
No, I think and I think you saw it in the Last Dance documentary. Like how much the NBA was attempting to grow the game in the 90s, and it clearly paid off. I mean, they were doing, the European tour, and the Bulls were going over to Europe, and I think there was multiple years where they, sent other teams over to Europe. They've grown the game exponentially, and I think obviously you want to do that. You want to grow your game, but now it's almost coming back to bite them in the rear end. But man, I mean, Luka had 49 today?
I think he had 49 points in like 30-something minutes.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is not the same international talent that the dream team was playing.
Yeah, everyone always goes back to the dream team, beating teams by 40, this and that. It's like, that's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's just a thing
and you put on top of it the COVID restrictions and like some players not wanting to deal with that. It's like you need to put everything into perspective that's going on right now.
Right. And me and you talked about this. I mean, like you said, the NBA season literally ended a week ago this week. I mean, these guys, it's also coming off of the shortest off season the NBA's ever had. So you've got to keep, like you said, got to keep some things in perspective. You don't have, some really big name guys out there. Anthony Davis, LeBron, Trae Young wasn't selected to be on the team.
I don't mean to be rude. I love watching the Olympics, but for people to say that this is something on like Kevin Durant's career, like,
no,
what are we talking about here?
People said that, I think it was back in 2008 or maybe 12 that the Olympic team got bronze, and everybody said like, oh, people will remember this. And I'm sitting here right now in 2021. I can't remember what year it was that they got bronze. Like, it's not the end all be all that it used to be. So let's cool the jets just a little bit.
And it's not as easy. I mean, the competition is and I think that's what's being taken away from this is everyone keeps going, oh, they're losing this and that. It's like, maybe we should be like talking about how it's gotten so much better.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and you're seeing it in the NBA. I mean, Giannis, he's, from Greece, Luka from Slovenia. I mean, there's so many guys, you can go down the list forever and talk about, guys, there's more international players now than there probably ever have been. And like you said, it's just growing. We'll move on to into some Blackhawks talk here in a second, but I will say this right now. I still think that this USA team is going to win the gold medal.
They still have a chance to win gold, and there's a lot of games left, and they're professionals that have lost games before, so I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm not horribly concerned. Now they come out and I believe they play either Tuesday or Wednesday this week.
What I have a problem with is how to watch it. Why is it on Peacock? Why is it not on like nationally televised TV? Like, come on.
No, it is. It's on NBC.
I know, but they stream it off of Peacock.
Oh, well, I've been watching on Hulu Live. They have like 6 different channels playing stuff. There's stuff on USA.
Yeah, and they don't make it they make that confusing too.
Yeah, it is a little challenging.
And the way that they don't let like people tweet out clips is, I think, ridiculous.
Yeah, very MLB-esque of them.
But, why have people? Oh, let's not have people promote it for us.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Let's move into some hockey talk in the TCF Sports Minute. As I said earlier, the Blackhawks have traded for Jesus Christ, I'm drawing a blank. Seth Jones, from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Obviously, this happened on Friday right before the NHL draft. They trade Adam Boqvist and a pair of first-round picks and I believe a second-round pick. I personally, and I've said this a million times, I am a very, very casual hockey fan. When the Blackhawks are good, I watch a lot of hockey. When the Blackhawks are bad, I hardly watch any. But Seth Jones is a household name, even to a guy like me who's very casual about it. And then they turn around and sign him to an 8-year extension after that. This guy's going to be around for a long time. He's a perennial all-star. This guy is good. And I think that and I don't know how much you saw, Zach, but there was a lot of mixed reaction on Twitter. I saw, I'm not even going to say who it is, but a fairly prominent blog spot that talks about the Hawks saying this is just another reason why Stan Bowman needs to be fired and yada, yada. But you trade for an all-star defenseman who is going to be a first-line defenseman for Adam Boquist and a couple draft picks, where you didn't have to give up DeBrincat. You didn't have to give up Kirby Doc. You've got to keep some really, really big pieces here. And not only that, you're going to keep this guy who's an all-star. You're going to keep him around for almost a decade. I mean, I know that seems like a lot of years, but think about having the consistency of having a good defenseman that's going to be on a first line, second line at worst. I mean, that's a huge trade. I love this move by the Blackhawks. I don't know what you got to say about it, Zach.
Well, the biggest complaint from Blackhawks fans has been the defense. And we go out and get an all-star defensive player. And people also need to realize that they've got to start looking to the future, too. Yeah. I mean, Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, they're not always going to be on the Blackhawks. At some point, they're going to retire. And having a guy like this around for 8 years as somebody you can kind of build around is awesome.
Absolutely. And you nailed it with your first sentence there, man. The defense has been one of the biggest problems, and this guy is good. This guy is really good. Now, I'm not sitting here and trying to be a Stan Bowman, apologist. I think there's so many things he's done wrong.
I'm not a fan of him, but some people like to take everything that they do and just get mad about it.
Right. That's exactly what I saw out of this. And like I said, Seth Jones is a name. Even if you're a casual hockey fan, you know it. You've heard the name, and then you lock him in for a while, and see what happens. Because, like you said, you still got to keep DeBrincat, you still got to keep Doc. So, I mean, you're seeing, there's going to be turnover. There's going to be, changes as we go through. But I think this is. I mean, he's probably one of the 10 most recognizable names in hockey to casual hockey fans. So if it means giving up a couple first-rounder and Adam Boquist, so be it.
Yeah, I'm very happy about the trade.
I love it. Speaking of trades, this week going to be huge for the Northsiders. Obviously, they've only made one trade so far, Jock Peterson. But it seems like the next domino to fall is probably going to be Craig Kimbrell from all I hear. I don't know, man. This is a tough week because we may see
a weird feeling because even today they had the same lineup: Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo. They're all in the lineup. Wilson Contreras, and it's one of these days there's gonna be a bunch of trades, or over the next few days there'll be trades throughout the days, and it's weird to see because that's what you've been watching for the last 4 or 5 years is these guys. But yeah, I think that they can really, if they play their cards right and the way that these guys are playing, I think that they can really I wouldn't say no rebuild is quick, but you can get some very good players out of this.
Yeah, it's got to be done right, and you hope obviously a new regime with Jed running things. You hope that's done right.
Welcome to the new position for the Cubs. Now you have to be in control of a huge rebuild, and let's see if you can do it.
Yeah, it's. I've heard rumors that Boston is very interested in Anthony Rizzo.
I heard that too, but then I've also seen some stuff go against that.
Okay. I mean, this is the week we're going to hear all of that stuff.
Buster only said it on Sunday Night Baseball, so I know I've heard that. But then you hear Chris Bryant to the Mets, maybe, and Craig Kimbrell. If you're going to do it, you gotta get a lot for him because he is somebody that a team that wants to win a World Series, he's a piece that they need.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, closing pitching is always at a premium at the deadline, and I believe that's at the end of the month here, so or Saturday or maybe Friday. I'm not even sure, but we all know it's this week. We kind of see the inevitable coming. So just brace yourself. I think you're going to see 2 of those 3 guys traded. If I'm going to make a prediction right now, I'm sorry. I think Kimbrel's a foregone conclusion. I think he's gone. I'm talking about the rest of the core.
Honestly,
Baez,
if they don't trade Craig Kimbrel, it would be it wouldn't make any sense.
I think you'd be idiotic to keep
because
him with the
you only have him for one more year, and he's not going to be a part of the rebuild.
Yeah, and Craig has shown throughout his career he's had his ebbs and flows, and he's at the top of what he can be, and you want to cash out for that as high as you can get. So I think if you hold on to him, you're doing yourself a really big disservice. Go in and try and get somebody's. You're probably not going to get a number 1 prospect, but you have a very good opportunity to get a top 10, a top 5 prospect for a closer, kind of like with the Cubs and Chapman getting rid of Gleyber Torres. So hopefully Jed knows what he's doing. The White Sox, we'll keep it quick on them. They are still in first place, and the biggest thing that we actually, this is funny. We talk about this. The Oakland A's are reportedly nearing a deal for Andrew Chafin. Just got the notification on that literally as we talk. So hopefully they get some for him. Chafin's had more positives than negatives this year. Kind of sucks. I really like Andrew Chafin. Really kind of came out of his shell.
But that's the type of guy that you can get just a random piece for that you need for the future. Yeah. Because I think he's an awesome guy. Awesome personality. He's been pitching really well for the Cubs, but that's not a guy it's going to be around for the future.
He's also a guy who struggled pretty mightily in other parts of his career. So, if you can get something out of that, the A's
are good for him. He deserves, if he's pitching well this year, he deserves to go to a playoff team.
Yep. And the A's are going to are attempting to make a run. But like I said, the White Sox, the biggest thing we got to talk about them, they get Eloy back today. He was in the lineup, batting 4th, DHing. There's no chance we see Eloy play left field again this year. Don't you think?
You wouldn't think so, but we'll have to wait and see. And then Robert probably soon behind.
Probably a couple weeks.
Rehabbing right now. This White Sox team is going to be a problem for baseball.
Yeah.
And they're in a spot. And Liam Hendricks is so fun to watch. He's electric out there. That's how you want your closer to be.
Yes. He's got it right now, and I don't know if a lot of people saw that coming, but he is pitching very well, and like we said, with the trade deadline coming up, you don't know. I mean, they could probably go pick up one more outfielder, maybe a second baseman. Obviously, the Trevor Story, rumors are still out there. I don't know if you're going to see them go that far in, but we'll see. This is also a big week for the White Sox, and it seems like a lot of White Sox Twitters thinking that they're going to make some sort of splash move, and they've already got like a 10 game lead in that division. So it's probably just going to be to bolster up the rest of the lineup.
The 2 teams in baseball, or in Chicago baseball right now, very different routes.
Yeah, very different. Very different. But it also goes to show you what the White Sox did. If the Cubs do this correctly and add the correct pieces and get the right prospects, that this can be done in a few years. It's not a complete teardown, but I think the Cubs have to go out and get pitching. The pitching is especially starting pitching, is so bad in the system right now. And the White Sox are in a good spot. They don't have to leverage really anything. I mean, you don't want to go out there and, dump, guys if you don't have to. So make a smart move if you can, and if you can't, then you move on and, see where it takes, because you've already got, one of the best teams in baseball. So anything else in the Sports Minute, Zach?
No, I'm kind of I think after this week I'm a little over baseball.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It's going to be emotional.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm emotionally prepared for this week at all. So maybe I should just go back to work right now so I don't have to think about this as much, because it's literally like the dark shadow in the room that seems to keep following me around.
I'm afraid to look at my phone a lot. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know what update I'm going to get, if it's going to be a trade. Like it's nerve-wracking.
It is. All right, Zach, let's move into our weekly media recommendations. For those of you that don't know, this could be an album, a podcast, TV show, movie, video game, whatever we have been taken in this week as far as media goes. You want me to start? I've kind of got a loaded plate here this week, Zach. I've been kind of delving into a couple different things.
Go ahead, Boomy.
All right, I got a movie. On Netflix, there's a movie called America the Motion Picture, and it is the most ridiculous animated movie I have ever seen in my life. It is like American history, but not. It is it's definitely not kid-friendly, but like basic premise is like George Washington is trying to start America against an evil Benedict Arnold and him and Abraham. And then there's no like continuity as far as like time goes, because obviously Abraham Lincoln and George Washington were alive in very different times, but it's hilarious. I would recommend it. It is pretty funny. Podcast wise, I got to give a shout out to my buddy, Bobby Wilson. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, so if I have, I apologize. But a good friend of mine, Bobby, who I coached with over a decade ago, is a big college football fan, and he's always had this dream of going to every SEC college football stadium to see a game. And he's one of the biggest college football guys I know. He has started a podcast. You can follow them on Twitter at TNT College Foot One. And so what he's been doing all summer is he's been breaking down every single program in the FCS, FBS, the Division One guys. Every single program in depth, giving predictions for their schedule, conference ratings, pros and cons, literally every single program that there is. This week he's on the MAC, so I've been paying big attention to that, even though I disagree with him on the state of NIU football. But make sure, and I think we're going to do some cross stuff with him. But check out TNT College Foot One, the TNT College Football Podcast. And then also, I got an album, and I know this is probably super chuggy of me, but the Kid Leroy's album is actually really good. I don't remember the name of it, but I listened to it at the gym the other day, and I liked it. So go listen to the Kid Leroy's. I was trying to listen to Kanye's new album, but apparently that lunatic hasn't finished it yet. So it was supposed to come out Thursday. He's finishing it at, what'd you say, the Atlanta United Soccer Stadium or whatever?
Yeah.
So I don't know when that's coming out.
I think it's like August now is when it's going to come out.
So I gave up on that and listened to the Kid Leroy's album. Pretty solid. Zach, what do you got for media?
My media recommendation is a podcast. It's also a YouTube show. I got the shirt on right now. It's called The Yak. They put every show in podcast form now. I like listening to the show. It just gets you away from what you're doing, and it's funny. They have Tank Thursdays with Frank the Tank, who has been on the show multiple times. Our guy Frank the Tank, Big Cat, Roan,
Sass.
Yeah, Lil Sass, KB, Nick, Owen. It's awesome too.
That was one of the reasons I had SiriusXM for the longest time, so I could listen to their radio.
Yeah, they're hilarious. They've been around for a while. It's on YouTube, but now they do a little bit of they put it on podcast form. So The Yak, it's a Barstool show that they do at the Barstool headquarters, I guess you would say. So I know Boomy's listening to it. I know.
Anything else? Any media or any music albums or?
Not really. Not really. No. I trying to think.
Well, maybe if the Cubs trade away everything, you can dive into some movies or TV shows and drown your sorrows
out. Yeah, it's if you have any recommendations, the next few weeks are kind of boring. There's not too much going on. There's baseball, and that's about it. There's Olympics, but other than that, until football starts, not much going on.
Pretty slow. So for those of you that have been following along our TCF Denver trip, we did review these during our podcast episode that week, and that is Hammond's chocolate bars. We're going to do a TCF candy review here. Zach has one and I have one. I picked the weirdest one that I own. I have the Hammond's chicken and waffles chocolate bar. I'm going to review this. Zach, which one do you have?
It's the malted milkshake, so this one will be good.
What's your stance on like Whoppers and malted milk balls? Are you a fan of them?
Big fan.
Oh, couldn't disagree more. Those things stink. I'm glad you got
Good
that
thing.
one.
Good thing is you stink.
that
So here we go.
All right. Wow.
That's what every podcast loves to hear. Us eating chocolate.
We can speed this part up.
No.
That's so weird.
All right. Malted milkshake, Hammond's milk chocolate bar. I'm going to go with 3.7. This is very good.
This is one of the weirdest things I've eaten. Chicken and I don't taste the chicken, which is probably a good thing. No one likes chocolate-covered chicken. I'm not getting it. But I also burned every piece of my mouth on dinner tonight. I forgot to let it cool, and but this is really good. It's kind of got a crunchy waffle thing. What?
Great episode to do a candy review. You just
it was poor preparation.
You didn't even tell me.
Listen, I'm powering through. Okay, I still got the gist of it, and this is a good candy bar.
Are you a child?
Yes.
How do you not wait till your food cools down?
I also didn't realize that the person that made it at 496 degrees.
That was hilarious. So you're just like, I couldn't stop myself. I had to start eating dinner.
I was very hungry. This is really good. I'm starting to get a weird chicken aftertaste right now, which is really throwing me off. But all in all, this is a 3.3. Because it's got this little crunchy waffle thing in it, and it's got maple syrup built into the bar. It's a good bar. It's strange. Not a lot of people are going to like this unless you're a big chicken and waffles fan. But that is very different, but I do approve. I would buy this again. That is very weird, but I like it. Let's move into our everyday Madden ratings. And this is how we think we would fare in these different Olympic events. Like Zach stated earlier, the Olympics are going on. Trying to watch a little bit of that.
I'm with Big Cat, Barstool Big Cat, on part of my take today. He said some of the sports, I don't think these people are the best at it. They're just the only people doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I also have some grievances. I
don't mean to be rude by any means, but
yeah, there's not that many people doing archery,
especially the way they're doing it.
Yeah, it is a little strange, but I will talk about this later. There's some sports in the Olympics that I don't think belong in the Olympics, but I'm going to give us a couple different events, and we're going to give ourselves a rating on how we think we would be at these events. So the first one, javelin. How good of a javelin thrower do you think you would be?
Not very good. That seems dangerous. Oh, no, wait. That's when you throw?
Yeah, the spear.
Which one's the one where you have to stick it in the ground and then you fly up?
That's pole vault.
Okay, so
I left that off on purpose because we would probably end up incapacitated after that.
So I would have to say I'd be like a 54, a little above average.
I think I'd be good at throwing the stick, the javelin, but I don't understand how they get it to stick in the ground. Because every time I throw something that I think is javelin-esque, it never sticks into the ground.
Well, is it weighted at the bottom so that maybe
it's gotta be? That's gotta be the only thing, right?
Well, hey, the other day, Boomy, you were throwing around that the divot fixer on the golf course.
That's a little different. I've been practicing at that.
Kind of the same.
I'm gonna go with 58. I think I could get it up there. I just got to figure out the whole physics of getting the needle end to stick in. Once I do that, smooth sailing. All right, here's another one. Kayaking.
Oh, I'd be like a 72. I think I'd be pretty good at that.
I'm a pretty decent kayak.
What is it like in rough waters? Or
yeah, they create artificial rapids in this gigantic.
Okay, so pool. you're in the you're just in a pool pretty much.
It's a massive mess. It looks like I'm trying to give a comp not this big, but almost the size of a Walmart parking lot.
That's pretty.
It's pretty big. I think I'm going to go. I think I have potential in this. I'm a pretty good kayaker. I found out a couple years ago. I'm going to go 64 because I'm pretty good in just a lake where everything's pretty smooth. Haven't tested out the whole, artificial rapids thing, but Let's move on to the next one. Air rifle.
Oh,
They shoot at the targets.
bad.
Not a good shot?
No, I'm a bad. I never really tried, so I would say a 22.
I got a pretty decent shot, not terrible, but I also don't trust myself around a lot of things that can hurt you. If anybody knows me, it's a pretty easy thing to figure out. Pretty injury prone. I'm gonna go like a 61. I got a pretty decent shot, but I don't know, man. They shoot from a lot, and like you watch on TV, they're like, oh, it can't be that
It's
hard
dangerous.
because they show the guy.
Dangerous.
Yeah, they show the guy taking the shot, and then they show the target. They don't show that he's like 100 yards away. So I think we need to give those people a little bit more credit. Fourth one, water polo.
Oh, a 2. That's so hard.
That bad?
Have you seen it? Like, you have to keep swimming, throw the ball, try and play defense. That's unbelievably hard.
Yeah, I think Dave Williamson.
Yeah, he has I've seen that he's coaches water polo, and then he has a podcast with a gold medalist.
The
and
Michael Jordan of water polo.
Yeah, and I was watching it the other day. That is difficult.
Yeah, that is intense. I'm with you, Zach. I don't think I'm a decent swimmer. That just seems like so much cardiovascular endurance. I'm gonna go like a 19. I got a pretty decent arm, but like I feel like I would get very tired very fast. And our last one for our everyday Madden ratings: shot put.
Like a 64. I feel like that's something you could train for. Yeah.
I'm gonna go like a 79. I think I used to throw a little shot put back in the day. I coached track a couple years. I'm a bigger guy. I can give it a whirl, but man, some of those guys, like I feel like for an average guy, I could throw it pretty good. And then you put me up against Olympians, and they're throwing like 3 times the size of me.
Oh,
like,
those guys are huge too.
Yeah, they throw it like a country mile, and it's unbelievable. Any other sports that we should include, and how good we think we are at that sport, Zach?
What about any of the skateboarding, Boomy? What do you think?
Oh, all right. So I will start off with this. I don't think skateboarding should be in the Olympics. I understand it's the first time, but I think it's kind of dumb. I would give myself like a 3.
I wish they would do it a little differently.
I
I wish they could do the whole thing and then, like, judge that. Like, they feel like they judge every single trick.
Yeah. Did you see the one guy on the first day, like, totally eat it, and he slid right down, like, the railing?
Yeah,
was like,
that.
Oh.
That
but, like,
has to just be the
when
worst.
it comes to, like, skateboarding, and I said that earlier, but, like, did the X Games just, like, cease to exist? Like, don't we have basically the Olympics of skateboarding? Isn't that called the X Games?
Well, Boomy, with that argument, wouldn't you say, like, don't we have major golf events?
I also don't think golf should be in the Olympics.
Don't we have the NBA Finals?
Yeah, you're right. But, like, yeah, it just doesn't seem like a nation thing, you know? I don't know. I may be too hung up on it. I tried to watch the skateboarding for a little bit. Couldn't get into it. I'm also not that into skateboarding as it is. But let's go into the TCF top 3, and these are our top 3 favorite Olympic sports. I'm going to be nice enough and let you go ahead and go first. Zach, do you have enough written down? We could even go 5 on this. I've got like 8 written down.
We can go. Well, let's
go
call it
3 and see
TCF
where
top
we're at.
3. Boomy, it's a TCF top 3.
Sorry, man. I've been really into these Olympics. I'm enjoying them.
Well, I understand that, but you can't rewrite the rules.
We have a segment called Rewriting the Rules. I think we can.
We cannot do that. Not for this, Boomy. All right, my number 1. This is so like it's your favorite to watch.
Yeah, or just like what you enjoy.
I really do enjoy watching the archery, like, because that is so unbelievably hard.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going, like the air rifle, like the archery is the same way. They show the guy, the arrow's like smudged up on his face, and then he lets the arrow go, and then they just show it at the end. They don't show that he's like really long way away.
The Olympics are for sports that I don't really ever watch.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, when was the last time you saw an archery competition?
I just watched the NBA playoffs. Like, I don't need more Olympic basketball.
I'm with you. Me and my wife were watching the USA mixed archery versus Indonesia. We were the 2 seed, they were the 15, and we got upset. I was very disappointed. But that is tough stuff, and to shoot it that precise from that distance, that is really impressive. I'm going to go with the team sport I have enjoyed watching most in this Olympics so far, and that's handball. Men's, women, I don't care. Handball is fun to watch, and it is super fast-paced. Like the one game, unfortunately, I think the score was like 42-9 or something. But handball is my number one. You took archery from me. I'm going to go with, this is another weird one, badminton. That's going to be my second round pick.
That is so fast.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And like everybody has played badminton in PE, and everybody thinks they're good at it.
It's like, oh, I can just play badminton. It's like, no. It's like playing ping pong.
We don't.
What?
You're giving away picks.
Oh, no. That's not one of mine. My next one is beach volleyball.
Bonk.
No, because I feel like that's a sport that you can just go out and play. Like, you just go to the beach.
No, I actually had beach volleyball written down because it's only 2 people. And do you know how hard it is to play volleyball in the sand? Like, volleyball on a hard surface is hard enough. And then you, like, have to run and jump through sand.
Try doing anything in the sand.
Literally anything. It sucks. But they are so good at it.
Yes, they are. That's but like I said, it's a sport that you feel like you can just go out and do. Well, there's leagues at bars.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, I was in LA a couple years ago, and they have like 20 beach volleyball courts, and people just, I mean, you can just pick up and go down, and it seems like even like you said out here at bars and stuff, it seems like a very accessible game. They're just playing at a much higher level than anything I've ever seen. What's your third round pick?
My third round pick is water polo, because it's one of those sports like I can't do that.
Yeah,
but it almost exhausts you to watch it.
Couldn't agree more. It is,
but it's fun to watch.
If you just like watch it for the sports purpose, it is really cool. And like you said, shout out our guy Dave Williamson. Like, it is a fun sport to watch. And then if you start thinking about like, this is really impressive that they're doing this, and they're just treading water for like 30 minutes.
Like, are they touching the bottom? And it's like, no, they're just swimming.
I could do water polo if it was in a 4-foot pool.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're just swimming the whole time, that's insane. But it's a fun sport to watch. I like that pick, Zach. I'm going to go with my third round. I was going to take one you mentioned earlier, but I got another one in the back. And that is the uneven bars. And we were watching this. This was on the TV when we were at the golf course the other day. It's gymnastics, and where they like flip and do all the stuff in between, but they somehow still snag and like grab themselves and they whip up again. That stuff is super impressive. Both of my shoulders would tear out of the sockets.
Oh.
That is, I joked to you when we were watching. I'm like, I bet we could do that. No, like we would both legitimately end up in the hospital with 4 torn labrums in our shoulders because they are going so fast and just grabbing it, whipping around, shooting back up in the air.
My thing is like, how does your first time go? Like, how does it like the first time you try that? It's like that can't go well.
No, and the accidents like that when people don't catch it are kind of hilarious, but they're very dangerous.
Oh, they're very dangerous, and it's like that's not for me.
What other ones did you have for honorable mention, Zach? You want me to give you a couple?
Sure.
Ping pong. I didn't want to take.
Oh, well, yeah, ping pong.
And like that's another thing. Like we think we're pretty good playing it here in my basement or your basement. They're like playing a different sport out there.
Sure. I don't even think I could touch a serve.
No, I was watching a match and somebody from the U.S. beat someone from Russia 11-0 and it was like unheard of. I'm like, they would beat me 100-0 because I don't know if I could return.
Close.
No, I had. See, what else did I have? The high dive. That's pretty sweet. When they're like 50 feet up in the air doing like 10. Not even the fact that they're this high, which also scares the crap out of me. They're doing like 4 flips. And then when they land, there's like no splash. That doesn't physics-wise doesn't make sense to
me. I don't like being high in the air, so.
Is there any other sports that you don't like or don't think need to be a part of the Olympics?
Like I said, I'm kind of over basketball.
Yeah, we have like the NBA, we have FIBA, like we have the World Championships. I get it. The 3-on-3 basketball is pretty cool.
So how does golf work? Is it like
It's literally just like a 4-day
a
weekend
major?
tournament.
Like, so it's like Thursday through Sunday?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
was
could do
wondering
without that.
how that was going to work.
And like I say that now, but like I'll wait and see what it looks like, come the weekend. I
Be
just
something to
don't
watch.
Equestrian, don't care about that. Horses scare me, so kind of out on that.
Yeah, that's
Fencing's pretty cool.
I like horse racing, but like leave it to TVG.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on, Olympics. Fencing's pretty sweet.
What were they saying on Part of My Take if they make them a little bit sharper?
Yeah, you got someone if there's
not to really hurt somebody, but
yeah,
you would watch it if you know how many more people would watch it if there was like a little bit risk.
Oh, without a doubt, that'd be appointment television. You want to know what's really kind of weird, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I think it's either Taekwondo or Judo, where you're not allowed to punch, you just kick each other. That's super weird. Dude, they literally just like stand there with their arms and they just kick the hell out of each other.
That's how strong their legs are?
I want to say that's Taekwondo, but it could be Judo. I'm not 100% sure. They need to bring back tug of war, though. Do you know tug of war used to be an Olympic sport?
That's crazy.
They need to bring that back really bad. Could you imagine just like the 6 best offensive linemen or even like guys that are like the world's strongest man competitions doing tug of war? Like I would definitely
love to see how you have to like qualify for it.
Oh yeah. I mean, like every college, I remember when I was at NIU, the frats did like their tug of war. Like imagine that even like on a bigger scale. That'd be pretty sweet. And I don't know about you, Zach. I like a lot of the track, like the running and stuff, but like the field events are like we talked, like javelin, shot put, hammer throw, even like the long jump and triple jump, like all that stuff is cool. The running, the only one I really care about is the 100-meter dash. But other than that, I mean, track and field's got a pretty good thing on for him.
If you can't tell, Boomy has been watching a lot of the Olympics.
A lot. I'm probably, when we're done recording, I'm probably going to put it back on and fall asleep watching it tonight. So, big Olympic guy right now.
What I always get confused about is it live or is it not? If it says it's live, like even if it says it's live, I still don't believe it.
No, you got to look in the top right-hand corner. If it's under the Olympic rings, if it's live, they'll put live. If it's not, they don't put it.
I feel like sometimes they lie about the live.
Because I watched a women's basketball game all the way through, tip off to the end, and then I realized that game happened yesterday, and I could have.
Hey, but that's fine if you didn't know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched it. It was a good game.
I rewatched the end of the USA game.
I've got that ready to watch. I'm just trying to avoid it right now. I don't want to see Evan Fournier make us look like idiots.
It's a tough last few minutes.
Yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. But today's episode was also brought to you by our friends over at Connect Roasters. If you haven't tried their coffee, I don't know what you're doing. If you're a coffee fan like Zach is, make sure you go out to connectroasters.com. Check them out on Twitter at Connect Roasters. It's good enough for Zach. It's good enough for our guy Dom. It's good enough for Ian Happ. It's good enough for you. Okay. It is the best coffee you can find. Like I said, Connect Roasters. You can find their products at Foxtrot Market, Dom's, and of course, the Cubs locker room at Wrigley Field. But make sure you check them out at Connect Roasters. And like I said, connectroasters.com to get their fine products. Sign up for the Home Run Club and get a discount every time our guy Ian Happ hits a dinger. So shout out to Connect Roasters. And thank you for listening to episode 107 of Typical Chicago Fans. You can follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Make sure you follow Zach at ZLiliaTCF. Make sure to check out the Facebook and the Instagram pages, YouTube for all of our content in video form. Subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you find them. Give them a like. Tell a friend about it, too. Keep growing this thing. Especially check out the YouTube. Like we put everything we have on video form. So send a video to somebody. Give it a like.
Make sure you're checking out the next few weeks here. We'll have some videos that we did on vacation. So
we have a ton saved up, so they're going to keep coming.
Make sure you're subscribed so you're the first to watch it.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us. That was episode 107 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.